follow up from last week, like we ended up talking about wallet security, and I ended up, looking at my wallet and seeing what was going on. And I invited Jason here to talk a little bit about EverRevoke because I did try it out. So two things. One thing, MetaMask came out with a wallet, an update that now like you get verbiage before you sign saying, this contract is requesting set approval for all, right? But the difficult thing about that is that in some instances, it's okay to set approval for all, like in marketplaces. But if you're minting like from a degen site, you probably don't want to do it. So that's just a little update that came out on MetaMask. I put some screenshots on the top. Secondly, when we were talking about wallet security, initially when I started in NFTs, I was minting from my main wallet. Later on, I went to my degen wallet and practiced better security practices. When I put my wallet into EverRevoke and Revoke Cash, I actually tried them both. I was shocked to see how many approvals I had open. I had so many open approvals from open mints, from old mints and things like that. So on Sunday morning, gas was about 8 gwei, which was ridiculously cheap. I went through all of them and revoked them. It cost about 40 to 70 cents per transaction, but it kind of gave me peace of mind now. And congrats, Jason, on the EverRevoke. Like, I tried Revoke Cash. The UI is horrible. I know some HTML coding. I feel like I could have came up with a better site than that. The UI on EverRevoke is like beautiful. So tell us a little bit more about what EverRevoke is.
Yeah, thank you, Jess. So first of all, wallet security is such a big deal. Everyone should be talking about it, and it's a pleasure to be brought up here to kind of talk a bit about EverRevoke. So, when you're transacting in DeFi on the blockchain, when you go to a swap or you're looking to mint an NFT, the DEX or the swap or the function will actually ask for approval of your wallet. Typically, this is just nothing to be necessarily concerned about. This is like a typical way of transacting on the blockchain. And for ease of use and for convenience, places like PancakeSwap, Uniswap, and other DEXs, mint functions ask for unlimited permissions to your wallet. So a limited approval. And what that means is that you don't have to keep constantly approving every single transaction you make. But unfortunately, if you're giving these approvals to smart contracts, so that could be an NFT smart contract or a token smart contract, those approvals stay active in your wallet. So even though you may have a hard wallet, you may be practicing very good security on your wallet itself, you're essentially still giving permission, like a blank check really, to this smart contract that can connect you, kind of can communicate with your wallet and essentially take things out and take the entirety out of it. So we've seen vulnerability and exploits where smart contracts have been hacked, or the malicious actors out there have gained unlimited approvals to wallets, and they've literally just wipe them completely dry of tokens. This is obviously a big concern. It's almost like something that goes under the radar when people are in DeFi. They don't necessarily think about it or even are aware of it. So we're just trying to really fly the flag about open approvals. And that's why it's important that EverRevoke that we've launched is free to use. It does cost, like Jess said, it does cost a nominal gas fee. Obviously, if you're on Ethereum, wait for those gwei prices to come down so you're not paying too much. But pretty nominal price to kind of know that you've got no open approvals in your wallet. There are some swaps that will actually only ask for the amount that you're transacting. So for example, we have EverSwap, which is our own swap function, which works with the DEX's liquidity. And what EverSwap does is actually when you go to say buy a token on EverSwap, it will only actually ask for the approval of the amount of tokens that you want. So after that transaction goes through, it goes back to zero again. You don't have any approvals. So not everyone's unlimited, but you can go to EverRevoke, you can connect your wallet, and you see a list of all of the tokens and NFTs that you've got open access with, approval access. And you can see which ones are unlimited and which ones aren't unlimited. And you can decide which ones you want to revoke access to. My recommendation is, if you're not high frequency trading and you're just holding, there is absolutely no reason for those open approvals to exist. It's just nice to know that you've got no external smart contract that's got that access. When you go to bed at night, you know that you're safe. No one's got access to that wallet. We're on 5 blockchains. We're on Ethereum, BNB, Polygon, Avalanche, and Phantom. And like I said, it works with both NFTs and with tokens. Purchasing a token from a DeFi, a DEX. Sorry, 1 second. I've just got a phone call. Let's cancel that. Yeah. So
no,
how is
I just wanted to. Oh, sorry. I just wanted to add, Jason. Yeah, that's great that it's like cross chain. Like I use AVAX, I use BNB, so I was able to see like everything in one place.
Yeah, that's it. It's like all about user experience and ease of use. Like you mentioned the UI and how like simple it is and easy to use. Other revoking platforms out there aren't multi-chain and certainly aren't that easy to use, and sometimes they're hidden behind multiple like menus. So if you want like an all-in-one, easy to use, smart contract approval revoking system, then EverRevoke is for you. And it's if you're in a token that like some people come to like and say, oh, what about if I've got staking? What happens if I've got reflections? Does it affect that? No, it doesn't. So again, an open approval is essentially just basically so that the smart contract can't take those tokens out of your wallet again, okay, without you knowing. And you still can get airdrops, you can still get reflections, you can still get your yield on staking. So there really is no reason that you shouldn't be doing this, other than the fact that you may be doing high frequency trading. That would be the only reason not to. In that case, just be careful which tokens and coins you do have. But if you've got any questions, feel free to ask.
Yeah, I was just gonna and like, okay, so let's say like but I didn't have a lot of tokens. I don't like do a lot of swapping and shit. I had a bunch of NFT like old mints, and I guess if I wouldn't have revoked them and somebody like compromises that contract, then my wallet could be vulnerable, right?
100%. So you could have like a genuine project, like I would even recommend like if you get EverRise through a DEX, just always just revoke. Like if you're not going to be doing high frequency trading, you don't need to have that open approval. And any a smart contract out there that gets an exploit or vulnerability just that takes advantage of, they could potentially take advantage of that open approval in your wallet. So it's just all about wallet hygiene, exercising caution, and being aware of it. Essentially, like most of the things in DeFi is just being aware of what the risks are, knowing them, and acting upon them. If you like go back to that example, it's like this is obviously enticing you to give access to your wallet, essentially approval to your wallet. And it's like an airdrop. If you get like an airdrop token, you call it like a dusting attack. You may be familiar with a dusting attack. What that person, if it's a malicious dusting attack, what that person wants you to do is go and try to trade it, right? And they want you to try and essentially interact with it. And when you interact with it, they want you to give approval. That's what they want. They want you to give approval of their smart contract to your wallet, so they've got open access to everything that's inside it. So, and also the biggest thing is like they may not take everything straight away. They may just be monitoring your wallet. So you might not have much in your wallet, but they've got that open approval. As soon as you get, maybe you put in some BUSD, maybe you Ethereum, throw in a large amount, they've got bots that can see this, and the moment like assets get put in, they can pull them straight out again. So this is something that can lie in wait, or this is something that can hit you straight away. So it's just being really aware. I would like to see Trust Wallet, MetaMask, and SafePal and other wallets put like a really big like disclaimer, in bold red, saying, warning, you are giving like unlimited approval to your wallet, with this transaction. Are you happy to continue? And yeah, you make that decision. You've then got, that knowledge of what you're doing. Whereas a lot of the time it is hidden in the transaction, and you don't necessarily see it. So just bear that in mind. If you're dealing with a DEX, the reason they do it as unlimited is so that you don't have to keep doing it. Like if they didn't do unlimited, and you were using a DEX on a regular basis, every single time you'd be paying extra gas. So what they do is they ask for unlimited so that you don't have to keep paying gas all the time. That's the only reason Dex is set to unlimited. But obviously, from your point of view, if you're only doing a few transactions and you're happy, then you can just revoke that access. If you're all day on PancakeSwap or Uniswap all day long swapping tokens around, then yeah, you might want to retain that unlimited approvals. But just again, knowledge is power in this space, and as long as you know what you're doing, you can make a determined decision for yourself. But just be wary of open approvals is what I'll say.
Hey, real quick, I just had a question for Jason with EverRise, the revoke thing. If I was staking stuff on my wallet, would it revoke that, or can I not stake, or how would that work?
No, if you're staking something, essentially revoking a smart contract's approval to a wallet doesn't stop the smart contract from essentially sending you staking rewards or reflections, or it's purely preventing the smart contract from pulling assets out of your wallet without your permission. So just it's like me giving you a blank check and I've signed it. Like, you might be a nice guy and you might not use it, but someone might take that from you and go down the bank and just clear me out. It's the same sort of thing. Like, you're giving a signed blank check essentially to a smart contract, and they can be malicious and they can be exploited. And that's what happens when people suddenly wake up and they find their wallet empty and they don't know how it's happened.
Great question. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I've been staking EverRise for a while, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and use it for a lot more, especially with the NFTs and stuff like that.
Yeah, you can revoke EverRise and you'll still get your staking rewards. You'll still be able to, and that's, that's a great thing about this, is that it's not going to interfere with the smart contract's ability to, communicate with your wallet. What it does interfere with is a smart contract's ability to do things without your knowledge and take things out. And I'm pretty sure everyone in this room listening to me now would not be comfortable with smart contracts having that ability, because everybody takes their wallet security seriously. So, I'm not trying to scare people. And I'll be honest with you, the majority of, unlimited approvals are, there's a reason they ask for it, and it's a legitimate in a way, but it still doesn't mean it's safe. It still doesn't make it, it still doesn't mean you can sleep at night knowing that that's there. I would still recommend revoking 100%.
A question and a comment. So I'm going to ask Jason the question first. Let me ask you a question. To revoke access, you have to do it per chain, pay a gas fee per chain, or is it like, I think you get the question. And then the other one is, do you have to pay a gas fee? Let's say you have on one chain 10 different accesses to revoke. Do you have to pay a gas fee for each and every one individually?
Yes. So in each individual chain, you have to pay gas on the respective chain to be able to tell the blockchain, communicate with that smart contract and remove that approval access to your wallet. Essentially, you're interacting with the blockchain, so you need to pay a gas fee. Unfortunately, for every single, there is something that we could do at EverRise to do a bulk revoke, but we really wanted to kind of keep the decentralized nature of the app so that the users have the flexibility to kind of choose which ones they want to revoke. Because if we were to do like a multiple, the way I see it, I'm not a developer, but if we were to allow you to do multiple at once, we would have to essentially have control of your, essentially take control of the situation with your wallet, and we don't want to do that. So it needs to be you that makes each an individual decision on the blockchain, because the UI of EverRevoke is essentially it's just a UI front end for the blockchain itself. So you're directly performing interactions on the blockchain. In order to do something that's like a bulk thing, we would have to build something on top of that, and we don't want to do that because we don't believe that that's decentralized.